Okay, I'm going to be using this product called Wrike to demonstrate how a project management tool can work for the Talleys environment. I'm going to do it in two parts within the same video, basically setting a project up and then interacting on that project with the various people who are involved on that project. So let's get into it. When you first come into your workspace as a user, you're going to see different ways of interacting or viewing the information that's related to the various projects and tasks that are going on around you. In this case, my work, it's obvious, it's the work that's assigned to me either today or over this week, next week, etc. I've set up a number of dashboards for you just to show you how, because you're a big organization and you've got all these different departments, I think it's important that you are able to view the information by department. I created a fictitious little fish project called Talleys Mussel Seconds, which is why there's information under the fish dashboard and nothing under the veg. I see FFP shows, etc. So you can have I think on a business account you can have up to 15. No, you can have as many as you want, and on a pro account you can have up to 15 dashboards. So you can customize this in great detail. The stream, I think this is a fantastic tool. It allows, simply because you can filter it. You can see, for example, everything that's just assigned to you. You can see everything that's going on. So if you're top management, top level, you want to see everything that's going on around you, you can view, you can filter all the projects and tasks as everything. Everything that you're following, for example, you might just be following along with a project but not actually having anything to do with it, but your eyes are needed from time to time, so you could be following. And then you can just also look at it from the conversations that are going on around each project. There's a reporting function. I'm not going to go into that now, but if you're into reports and you want to, for example, see how all the active jobs are going, or completed jobs status, etc., and you can go and create and customize your own reports. Basically, you just set the parameters up as per how you want them, how you want the report to deliver, and take it from there. And then this area here, this is really the guts of it. This is where you set up projects. Created a number of little folders in here. Completed jobs, fish happens to contain that Talleys Mussel Second job that I set up just as a test, get my head around this product. You'll see shortly how this area works to manage a project. Alright, so if we go, and I've also created another user being a Talleys manager. So let's, for example, go and we'll set up a new project, a new veg project. If we go to the Talleys user space, the first thing we want to do is we want to set up a new project. I'm going to call this, I've actually just done this with copy and paste text, so I don't have to type too much. Put a new project in. It's going to be Talleys sliced beans poly, just hit that, it's there. Talleys sliced beans 500 gram poly bag, and we're going to add that to active jobs, and we're also going to add that to veg, and we've got everything in the right place then. We're also going to now add people who are going to be involved in that project, so we'll add the other user. We'll have a start date. If we've got a finish date or a projected finish date when we want it by, we'll put that in there. Change the status to green in this, to red at this point because it's new. And there we are. We've added a description about this project to say this is a new poly bag for the sliced beans 500G, and that should do that. Alright, so we've got a description and we've shared everything, and that's the basic of the product setup. Now, what you can't see is that me as a user, I've just got a notification on my iPhone to say that the Talleys manager has assigned me a new project called Talleys sliced beans 500 grams. So that little blink that you heard in the background, that was my phone going off to say that I've got a new project. So you can either use this on your phone or on the laptop, iPad, etc., etc. All right then, so that's happened there. Let's go over back to MySpace on my desktop, and I have got a message on my inbox saying that Talleys Manager has assigned a project to me. I click on that project to accept it, and now it's in MySpace. If I was looking at things from point of view of folders, it would all be there. There's no conversations that are happening around it at this point. So in terms of actually taking this to the next level as a project, I mean, what's the next thing we need? Clearly we need a brief. It's all very well having the project, but we need to know what this project is about. So let's go back to the Talleys Manager, and I've created a little project request here. It's a project brief. I'm just going to use some copy and paste text for populating these fields. So project description, a general description about the project, any of the sort of important notes that you want to put in there, we can put in there. We're going to say that the target market by geography in this case is for New Zealand, and then we're going to, for the target market, a picture of the customer, age group, gender, buying power, etc. Blah blah blah. Put that in there. Translation, because it's for New Zealand, we don't need a translation. We don't need the language or the company. Images, yes, we're going to need images. Let's say we're going to use an in-house image, and we're going to have to get a photo shoot done. We know that the die line is existing. We'll put that as existing. And then we can put in the storage instructions, cooking instructions, marketing text, and directions for use. Obviously, there's a lot more to that briefing document, but for this demo purposes, I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. So we'll hit submit. And the first thing we're going to do is go up here and change the name, because they come in as just a fictitious or just with a basic name. And we're going to put at the front of that brief, so we know that that is the brief. All right then. We're going to add that to the 500 gram polybag job. We can take project requests off there. And if you wanted to, you could add it to veg as well. Why not? And we know that Georgie's been assigned to it. We're going to have the Talleys Manager assigned to it. We know that the brief has been assigned, and there is the actual brief itself. But let's go back to MySpace now, and we will see on my inbox that this task has been assigned to me. When I click on it, I will see there is the brief all filled out nicely. If I come back to the project itself, I will see that there's the whole project in its entirety at this point, and there is the brief. Fantastic. Alright, so in terms of actually setting up a project, I think there's one other thing that's really missing. Under normal circumstances, there would be a couple of files that needed to be uploaded, namely the die line and, let's say, the NIP in this case. So we're going to go back to the Talleys Manager space, and we are going to go back to the project itself, and we're going to attach a couple of files here. In this case, I've got them on my desktop. Pop down here and grab them. We're going to get the sliced beans die line and the NIP, and we're going to add those to the project. Right, those have been added to the project. There they are, and either I can download them or I can view them. We won't do any of that at this point, but they are there. In terms of attached files, they are always at the top. So basically, this is always the order that you have when you set a project up. Any files that are associated with the project that you or anyone else uploads are always listed in this area here. Alright, going back to MySpace. Now it's time to, okay, they're the two files that have been sent to me, so I know that they're there. There they are within the conversational area. I can have a look at the stream, and I'll know that those things that they're assigned to me, I'll see that those two files have been added by the Talleys Manager to me. Alright, so if we've got the basics of the project set up now. Let's go and actually do some work on it. I have gone, I'm going to go back to my view over here. Okay, I've gone and done some work on the design, and now I'm going to upload that first design and let everybody have a comment on it. So I'm going to say here is the first version of the design, and in this case I'm going to upload it to the Wrike space. I also could send a link to a space, for example, in Dropbox. One of the things with these projects, these project management tools, is you might have to buy more space to host files. So I always try and keep the little files within the actual user space, and some of the bigger files could live off-site. However, in this case, just for the purposes of the demo, and I've made a very small file, we'll upload from here. Go to the computer, and we'll grab that one, we'll go choose. Okay, it's just going to process and upload. It does take a little while because it's a bit bigger. Wait on that. Come on, internet. Diddle diddle doo. There we are. There's the file, and I'm going to post that. Right, go back to the Talleys manager side, and there's the file that's been uploaded in that same space. But within the flow of managing the project, here is the first version of the design, and that's popped in there. If I went to the stream and assigned to me, there's the same view again, just with a little less detail. However, we can go back to the project and view it again from there. Alright, so designer has sent file. I want to have a look at that file now. I can either download it and look at it, but what's so neat about this particular product is that you can see it within the space, within the actual user interface. And we'll see straight away that there is a big problem. We've got dice beans instead of slice beans, and we need to correct that. So sort of comment on here, and when you click on a space, or click on an area where you want something edited, you get this lovely big pink dot. You can just go there and say, let's say it should be sliced and not diced. Hit enter. Comment has been put in. We might have spotted a spot or something like that on that bean there, and we're going to say, please remove the spot on this bean. Got fat fingers today. And there we go. That's that comment there. Obviously, you can look at it in different sizes, smaller, bigger, etc., depending on the screen space. Because I'm recording this video for you, we're looking at it in a fairly small space. All right, that's done. I can get out of that space now, and under the Talleys Manager space, you will see that there have been some comments left. We'll also see that there's been comments left by the little comment tab on the files over there. Let's go back to my space, and I'm going to have the same thing happening there. On my stream, I'm going to have the same thing happening again. Assigned to me, or everything assigned to me. Okay, it hasn't come in just at this point. Back to that, but in any case, I would normally you'd be looking at it in this view. So, okay, so I'm going to go and click on that. Sorry, you're going to be looking at it in the project view. Go and click on that. Take a little while to load, and I can see straight away that there's been some comments made because of those two little comment things there. I'm going to open the comment tab, and I can see the pink dot there. I'm going to click on it, and then that relates to sliced and diced. Oops. We'll correct that. Okay, and okay, we'll do. Right, we've got those back in there now. Get back out of that space. Come back into the project view, and there are my comments back to the Talleys Manager. Let's go back to the Talleys Manager view. Same thing again. So as you can see, we are following each other around this project and seeing the same things, depending on what it is that we need to see, but seeing the same things, being in the same space, and therefore nothing is lost in translation. We haven't got files floating around all over the place. Everything related to that project is right where it should be. Now, while I've been designing, etc., we could have been using placeholder images. Because we've got the brief where we said we need to get a photographer, you also might want to, as a Talleys manager, say, we will now need a photography. Oh, come on, George. Photography brief from UGT, and we can put that task in there. We can add another task in. We also need the correct barcode, for example. I mean, you get the idea. I mean, we could go on and on here. Basically any task that comes out of that brief or the process of designing can be added here. We need to assign that, for example. So we're going to add me to that assignment there, and we're going to say that it's assigned. The barcode, we're going to add that to the Talleys manager, and we can say that that is in review, for example. All right. Now, coming back to, all right, so let's go back to MySpace. I've done a new design, corrected those problems. I'm going to upload that now, and here we are. Get that, and I'm going to say here is version 2 of the design with requested changes, and we will hit post. Okay, so that has now gone out to everybody within the group all the time. So that photography brief, you heard the little beep going on my phone. That's my phone reminding me. I mean, I can turn these on and off. You don't have to have them coming in all the time. But it was just for the purpose of this demonstration. I've got it coming in on my phone, and I can see it here on my desktop. So I accept that. Go back to the Talleys manager space, and let's look at that project. And here we'll see this one that's just come in. If we go back, I'd actually rather show you as in here's within the stream. Here's version 2 of the design. We're going to go and have a look at that. And now we can see that it's sliced beans, and the spot on that bean has been fixed. So, as a Talleys manager, you could come in here now and say, just click anywhere on the dot on this because we haven't got anything specific, and just say, this all looks good to me. And then time to send it to MacFoodies, for example. Hit enter, get out of there, go back to MySpace, go back to the project, and we'll see that there's a comment that's been placed. It'll come in on the stream as well. We'll go back to there, come on, and go back down. This all looks to me time to send to MacFoodies. I can say, no, that's not what I wanted to do, sorry. Okay, I'll add a comment in here and say, okay, so we can actually add a new task at this point and say, right, latest file needs to go to MacFoodies for review. And we'll put an assignee here, and we'll say that's the Talleys manager, and let's say it's in review. Okay, in the meantime, I have worked on the photography brief, so we'll go to the photography brief, and I've got it ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the file here from the computer. I'm going to go to photography brief, select that, there it is, I'll put it there, and I'm going to say, oh gosh, I didn't put the comment in, but it doesn't matter, just say here with the photography brief for the photo shoot. Add that in there. So now I can also change the status of this and say that it has been approved, and you'll see the greens, all these things start changing color. Okay, the Talleys Manager, let's go back to the Talleys Manager space. The Talleys Manager has now got the barcode, so let's go to the barcode and we can pop that in and say the barcode number is, and we'll say okay. And I can go back to my space now. Sorry, I know it's a lot of backwards and forwards, but it's just really for the purposes of this demonstration. You're not going to understand the interactivity if we don't do this kind of ping pong. All right, so that we see that the photography brief has come in there. This is on my side. I'm just getting notes about that. On the stream, let's see what's happening on the stream. Assigned to me. There's that we need the photography brief from Georgie. There it is. Here's the brief for the photo shoot. Let's go back to the project itself. All right, got the barcode, McFoodies for review. Now this is where it could get interesting, because we could actually add in, say for example, using Kathy at McFoodies. I can send an email to Kathy. So I can send an email to Kathy and invite her to review this file, and what I would probably do is also give her a link within that email. I'm not going to do it now because it means I've got to set up all sorts of false email accounts, and it just gets too complicated. So I can, the point that I'm trying to make here is that we can invite people outside of the Wrike environment to participate on a project by inviting them through an email and making sure that they have access to the files that they need in terms of being able to review. So that's a really, really useful tool. You don't have to have everybody involved. I mean, everybody that's involved in the project doesn't necessarily have to be using Wrike. The point being that we can add collaborators. In fact, that's what it's called. You can have collaborators come in and check in on our project, check out on a project as it's going along. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else I can show you that's really relevant. Oh yes, okay, all right. Say for example we are working on a project. Say we're doing the photography brief. If you want to record time on a project, you can do so. So say while I was working on the project on the photography brief, I just have to click that little clock there, and it's now starting to record time for you. So it'll tick away, tick away, tick away, and then. Or you can physically enter, let's say, some time that you've spent an hour on or something like that. Okay, so it's recorded some time on that project as well. All right, so we get to the end of the project. Say we've gone through, it's all done, and it's time to send it to the printers. I would probably, in this case, I'm just going to use something fictitious here, copy link there, and I would say, okay, well, the job's done. On my side, I'm going to say, okay, this is the link for the printers to download the artwork. Paste and hit that there. Okay, so there's the link to the, oh gosh, spelling again, but there we are. I can even edit it if I wanted. Okay, fine, that's gone there. We come back into here. Talleys Manager is going to see that inside the project. Did I say that was, I need to go back to my space, or hang on, is it there? Assigned a task to you. Go back there. Okay, it hasn't come in yet, and maybe it's because I didn't. Okay, this is the link, and who am I sharing it with? Why did that not go? Oh, because I need to assign it to the right person, so that's going to happen now. Okay, so that will now appear over on the Talleys Manager side. Go back over there, Talleys Manager. Okay. Can't understand why it hasn't come in. This is not good when you're demonstrating a product, is it? Might need to hit the refresh button. Could be that. If we've got a slowdown on the internet, sometimes these things happen. Okay, well obviously I'm doing something wrong, but and that's me. It's, you know, I'm not familiar with this at this point. Oh, there it is. There, it's coming. It's just slow. Okay, so that's all done. That link can now be copied and pasted and sent to the print manager. We could, at this point, you could actually invite the print manager by going at. We can add in a number of emails, and we can invite the print manager to come and download the file from within this environment. So I guess really at the end of this all, you can come to the project itself and say, right, it's all done. Is it? We can decide whether it's. We can say that it's got a green, it's completed. That's what we're going to do. We're going to say it's completed, and then we will go back up here and we'll take that off, and we shall put it into the completed projects, and that's it. So we've got a record of it if we want to keep that record of that project. So now you'll find that underneath the completed jobs, you've got the Sliced Breen project and the Talleys Mussels project. All right, so I think that's probably enough in terms of being able to demonstrate to you how these things work. I think the essential thing, if we just take a quick review of what I've just shown you, is trying to contain or control a project from start to finish, not using the email environment because it gets so messy, and all the factors that have been outlined in the presentation. Trying to find a way for us to manage a project amongst a lot of different people, all pulling in different directions, all doing different things, and having one space that controls everything surrounding that project. That is the point of one of these project management tools. Now, I've just used it for a packaging project here. If you start thinking about the kind of projects that you would be doing amongst your sales team, for example, with your counterparties in the United States, etc., you might want to have a project going between you on, let's say, the Costco sales project to Costco in the States. It's up to you. I mean, I think really what I've shown you here still demonstrates how much you can do, and it doesn't have to be about packaging. It can be about anything. So without further ado, I think we'll just leave it there, and obviously there's a lot of tutorials, etc., and demonstration videos about Wrike. I'm not pushing Wrike. It just happens to be one that I thought I'd use because it had a lot of useful tools for you to be able to use within your Talleys environment. So yes, I think that's what we'll do, is we'll leave it there for the mo, and I will sign off and end this video.